Oh, the humanity. Crofty's finally come round and speaks truth to Maximilian Verstappen 3, soon to be 4-time champs greatness. Here's what he had to say on the Sky Sports F1 podcast. We'll go through and then we will dissect diatribe for it as per usual. Crofty said, if Max Verstappen wins in Vegas and goes on to win the championship, to do that when he's not in the fastest car, has not had the fastest car all season, then it's a brilliant championship, a brilliant season that is 2024 for the Dutchman. He is a phenomenal driver. Now, we talk about Max Verstappen a lot, says David Croft of Sky Sports F1, off the track, about some of his antics, his aggressive driving, his very unique brand of wheel-to-wheel combat. But for once, says David Croft of Sky Sports F1, let's spend a minute, spend some time talking about Max Verstappen, the genius driver, because he is a genius driver, a fantastic world champion who deserves to be 4-time. If Max has a car next year, surely, says Crofty, he'll be 5-time. He is indeed one of the greatest drivers to ever race in F1, and we should not let anything detract from that. It's rare, says Crofty, that we have the opportunity to sit down and talk in earnest about Maximilian Verstappen. He's not insubstantial talents. And to that, David Croft, I say this. No kidding, Sherlock. Where have you been all this time, sir? You are the voice of F1, and it is your responsibility, your right, no, your obligation to speak truth to what Max Verstappen has been doing over the past 36 months. What are we doing? How is this even a real thing? How is this even a revelation? Surely, as Max Verstappen fans around the world will say of Crofty, it's worthy of note that he has to come out and say this. Surely as the voice of the internationally syndicated broadcast, if indeed bias, British bias, is not a thing, Crofty should be saying this on the broadcast in real time. Why did we not get this soliloquy, this monologue, as at the Brazilian Grand Prix where Max Verstappen went from 17th to 1st, made it look easy in 43 laps? Why not? Why? People will be leveraging British bias, asking questions. People will be talking about Damon Hill and the timing of his departure from Sky Sports 1, that maybe it's not a coincidence that not long after Damon Hill departs, after his comments about Max, you recall them, that sport doesn't build character, it reveals it, that Max Verstappen deploys dastardly tactics, that if everybody drives like Max, then there will never ever be another overtake in F1. It's not lost on us. Indeed, it would be remiss of me not to mention that and the timing of David Croft's statements. Timely, apropos, any. And Crofty is of course right. Max Verstappen is worthy of praise, but for the avoidance of doubt, the setting of the Sky Sports F1 podcast wasn't to talk to that. David Croft is departing for Las Vegas imminently tomorrow morning. He wasn't there to speak about Max Verstappen. That was the remit of Tom Bellingham of Matt and Tommy of P1. Crofty was just an intro. Talk to us about the FIA, Niels Wittich, all that's going on there, Greg Maffei's departure, a Liberty Media planning to sell, just precursor, an hors d'oeuvre, a starter even, but Crofty went out of his way to make sure that he put some respect on Max Verstappen's name. And I say, for the avoidance of doubt, to reiterate, it is about time, ladies and gentlemen. I've been watching some old clips over the past couple of weekends, Max Verstappen 2016 Brazil, with a view to understand the extent of the brilliance that race. Understand exactly what that dude was doing, how he was going so fast around the outside of a Nico Rosberg, taking the karting line, correcting as if correcting oversteer. Snap oversteer is just an easy, simple thing. Trying to read up, understand more about this dude's driving style. Mark Hughes says that Max doesn't have a driving style, that he's a chameleon, an Adrian Newey of an F1 peddler, in indeed the fact that he's able to traverse so nice and neatly, seamlessly between the grey areas that are the rules and regulation. No weaponising them against the other 19. This dude is a genius, Crofty. Understatement of the year, fella. Where have you been all this time? Again, I state for the avoidance of doubt, this is the voice. I love myself a bit of Crofty, but how can we not talk about British bias if only now, so late in the 2024 season, are we talking about Max Verstappen this way? Lest we forget Imola, lest we forget Canada. There have been all these races where Max Verstappen has outdriven the car, ladies and gentlemen. What are we doing here? I don't understand how this is a thing. How can we be in this position where David Croft, as brilliant as that dude has been a commentator, a servant to the Wonder Fs down the years, that he's even having to say this? It should have been a moment at Brazil. And I've seen this, I've noticed this more and more this season with Crofty, that sometimes in the big moments he drops the ball that he can't live up to, let's say, I don't know, an Alex Jakes. Please see as your Exhibit A, Monaco, where Charles Leclerc won his first Grand Prix, his first home Grand Prix even. That needed to be spoken up, right? That's the sort of stuff that commentators live for. Alex Jakes played up to it, therefore gave Charles Leclerc his credit, gave the moment the right context and background. Of course, Charles Leclerc lied to his father, telling him that he'd already gotten the F1 contract. This is stakes, is it not? You've got to talk about the failures of Charles Leclerc at Monaco, his home Grand Prix. Was he jinxed? Give it the proper build-up. David Croft this year did not do that, and you can argue that what Crofty is doing here is amending for those ills of Christmas past. Jacob, you're an absolute legend. It is the Las Vegas Grand Prix this weekend, and I think it's only right that they will tell me, why all the Max glazing, Cameron? Why are you always talking about Max? Well, here's why, for the avoidance of doubt. Because the reason why I watch sport of any colour or creed is to see these great moments, to see a Max Verstappen come from 17th to 1st, to see 2016 Max Verstappen, but see Lewis Hamilton, Sir Lewis Carl Davidson Hamilton at Singapore in 2018, when Lewis first jumped in the car and went round the outside, turn 1, lap 1, Adelaide, Fernando Alonso, 2-time champion. That's why I ingest my F1. And I fail to understand. I think I'm only just realising the extent to which the commentators contribute to those moments. I feel robbed at the fact that I wasn't watching the official F1 TV Pro stream when Charles Leclerc took the checkered flag out to Monaco. So too do I feel robbed that I didn't listen to that Alex Jakes commentary on Maximilian Verstappen at Brazil in 2024. But because it adds to it the power and the evocative. The moment, the emotion in it is by dint of what the commentators are saying, right? The colour, the linguistic tapestry, the richness of it has to come from a David Croft or an Alex Jakes. So I say all that to say this, for the avoidance of doubt. I say all of that to say this. Bravo, Crofty. For once, leaning away from the British bias and giving Max Verstappen the props that he deserves. What's been an epic season, a god tier season, an era-defining season. Max Verstappen has been nothing if not goated this season. Yeah, it was once upon a time Lewis. Not too long ago, 2021 was an incredible season from Lewis. But it feels like this is the Maximilian Verstappen era, and Brazil 2024 was proof positive of that. I anticipate, if my F1 spidey senses are worth investing in, that Max Verstappen could do another one this weekend at Las Vegas Grand Prix. For that dude has been nothing in 2024, if not inevitable. But I digress.